All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is more of my house plants, the pothos edition. So basically, I'm just showing you all of my pothos that I have. I'm actually very familiar with these plants. I've had these plants for years. I'm in my mid-30s, and I've actually had these type of plants, not this particular plant, but these particular plants, these type of plants for years. My mom grew these when I was growing up, and we were about in our teens, not even that, 10 or 9 years old. So I'm very familiar with these plants. However, I actually just found out what the name of these plants were just recently. So, yeah, this is kind of funny because I never knew their names were pothos. I never knew that. And then the ones I'm going to show you that I have right now, I didn't even know that these other ones existed as well. So I'm still, even though I've been around plants literally more than 20 something years, I'm actually just learning about the different types of plants that there are. So like I said, with this plant, however, I'm very familiar with this plant. I've been around this plant all my life. So this is the pothos. And like I said, I just learned now that they have different versions. And I'm going to show you a couple of the versions that I have. Even though I don't have all the versions, I have a few. So this one is a golden pothos. And as you can see, I'm trying to span out. They actually get very long. They get very long. There are records of people having 50 feet of vines. This is a vining plant, 50 feet in length worth of vines in their homes, and and I just learned that these grew in the wild. I never knew that. So yeah, these grow in the wild. These are very easy to take care of. I love these plants. Every time I would get a new apartment, this would be, if I didn't bring the plants, or I wasn't able to bring the plants that I grew with me, I would always go grab a new plant. And even now, when I do have room, I always wound up at least once a year getting a new pothos. However, because these plants are so easy to grow, you can actually take parts of this plant, as a lot of us know, take parts of this plant, like right here, cut it off. This is a node right here. This is called a node right there. And plant this in water and it will grow. And I actually repotted, I actually planted a lot of the cuttings that I took from this particular plant, because if you see here, all the notches right here is where the plant she was draped this way. And don't mind all the spots on the wall. That's from me spraying. I just learned that you can mist your plants as well. I didn't know that. So that's why she's kind of wet. I've been misting my plants now every day. Now, the one thing about this pothos is, once you clip, or pretty much any plant, once you clip, like right here, I took some clippings from her, you get a lot of new growth. So I'm going to try to get in here close to show you, like all of this right here that you see, all of this is absolutely new growth from when I clipped her. I want to say this is what, November 2018. So I clipped her somewhere in midsummer, maybe. I want to say midsummer. All of this is new. Look at this. All of this is new growth. You get a lot of new growth coming from this plant. So not only do you get new growth when you clip them, when you prune them, but then when you clip them here and place them in water, or I just learned too that you can do rooting hormone. I didn't even know that. So you can dip it in rooting hormone and stick it right back in the dirt. That's what a lot of people do. I never knew that. I've always been used to doing it the way I've been doing it, which is clip it, put it in water, grow the vines, and grow the roots, and stick it and replant it. So this is what I've done with this plant, and that's what you can do. I did not know that, so I'm definitely learning. With the watering of the pothos, she doesn't need a lot of water. They like to be moist, but not soggy, soaking. They also do not like to be dry. You can let them dry out. They're very durable plants. I wouldn't, however, let them dry out, but if something happens where you let them dry out by mistake, you go on vacation or something happens, you can pretty much salvage these plants. They are salvageable, have you say that word. But they can put up with a lot of neglect and abuse, but I would not purposely do it. But if it happens, these plants are very hardy. They bounce back very fast. So they can take pruning, they can take being dry, One thing they cannot take, however, is being overwatered. You have to be careful with overwatering these plants. They are a low to medium light plant. This is what happens when you don't have a lot of light. You get a lot of spacing on your vines. You get a whole lot of spacing on your vines, and that's what happened. See, because she's away, she's not by the window that I have my other pothos next to, so she's not getting a lot of light. So as you see, she has new growth coming there. These plants grow, and this is the middle of fall, becoming winter time. It's cold in our state. It's like 20 degrees here. So these plants are still hardy. They still grow. Their growth slows down, of course, because it's getting colder, but it doesn't stop. I will tell you that their growth does not stop. It slows down, but it doesn't stop. This is new growth. All of these are new growths. All of this. See how tiny that leaf is? That is because it's either not getting enough water or she's not getting enough light. And that's only because it's not the summertime anymore. So this is one of my golden pothos. I also have more. Now this right here, you guys, I love this plant, but I am so sad because if you look at her, I accidentally, okay, so this right here was in the store. I got this from a grocery store. In the store, she was labeled as a marble queen, and she looks like a marble queen, and I believe that she is a marble queen. However, the more one day I was sitting and I was staring at this plant and I was just looking at her and looking at her and looking at her, and I said, she does not look like a marble queen. She looks similar to a marble queen, but I don't think she is. So then I just kept researching, and then I found something out. But before I tell you that, let me explain the condition of her. So what happened was, she is different. This one here is different from a golden pothos. Like I said, she was labeled as a marble queen. You see how big? And their leaves can get bigger than this, you guys. Their leaves can get massive, okay? Their leaves can get the size of like 3 people's heads or something like that. Their leaves can get really, really big. However, so she was full. Like the previous plant that I showed you, she was fuller than that. She was full. But something happened. I repotted her and she just literally just died. Like, I mean, every leaf in this is a new pot. Every leaf in this pot that I put her in died. Everything died off. And I was just so sad. I was hurt. However, I know how strong a pothos can be, because if you look, she still has life. Because at first I was just going to throw the whole plant away because I thought I killed her. But then when I noticed that this vine, and this vine was still alive, I'm like, wait a minute, my baby still has some life. So she's kept growing. And look, this is new growth. This is new growth. All of this. So these are very, very, look at this. This is new growth. These are very, very hardy plants. They can literally take abuse and keep going. Look at this. Even, that's what I was telling you guys, even off of the vine that was cut, because I had to cut a lot of her away. Look at that. She is still growing. That's new growth. That's new growth. There's some more new growth back here. Let me show you right there. There's more new growth. These plants find a way, okay? These are very, very hardy plants. Look at this. Look at the new growth coming on there. That's new growth. And this water is just from me spritzing her. I just spritz her. And I don't treat her like the regular golden pothos, because I believe she was a little bit more sensitive than the golden pothos. So I kind of... I'm going to know how to treat her a little bit differently, because I think because of her color variation, that made her a little bit more sensitive to light or something. I don't know. But this baby was way more sensitive than the golden pothos. So then look, if you look at these leaves here, right, this color is different from the, what is that called? It's different from the marble queen. And so if you guys research, try Googling different types of pothos, and I found out that she could possibly be, it's called a jessamine. I don't know, but it starts with a J, and I think it's Jess something. I think that's what she is. I think she's different from a marble pothos. I think she's a jessamine, whatever it's called. However, I could be wrong because they said they are so similar that they look like each other. They are often mistaken as a marble queen, but they are not a marble queen. So I'm going to do some more research, and then I'm going to let you guys know if it's official. Maybe I'll put some pictures up of what they say a marble queen is and what they say a jessamine or whatever. But see how she's more green? If you look, she's like a more dark green and a pale green versus the marble queen look, which is the lighter green. See, on here it's much lighter than it is in real life. It's much lighter on camera than it is in real life. See, it's like a palish green here, but she looks like a marble queen. But see, the rest of her, look at this. This is what, that big leaf right here, that's what this looks like. Marble queens are much lighter than this. So I think this is a jessamine, however you say it, marble queen, jessamine pothos. But yeah, so I put a stick in here because they like to vine. These plants love to vine, and they do better when they're able to vine. And they do better. They grow in any kind of condition. So pretty much these are very hardy plants. I love them. So yeah, if you have brown tips, that could be from lack of water, too much water. I actually accidentally sprayed them with some, not accidentally, I sprayed them with some, what is that called? The stuff to help them grow. And I think I kind of burnt their leaves, not on her, but on the other one over there. But yeah, this is a pothos, but this might be a jessamine pothos versus a marble queen. So I'm pretty excited about this, and she is doing very well. So I'm gonna come summertime, I'm gonna put her by the window. But you cannot put them in full light because they will burn their leaves. And I'll show you guys an example of sunburnt pothos. Okay, guys, so this is an example of another type of marble queen. I'm sorry, another type of pothos. Now, there's another type of pothos called jade pothos and also green queen pothos. So I saw this, actually this is actually a clipping, so none of this came from dyeing all of this space. None of this came from her dyeing off. I actually got this green one here, just this green part, this green one here. I actually got her from a auto parts place where they do a dealership, a car dealership, and I seen her pothos and it was beautiful. See, I just sprayed them. And so you see all this new growth, and I'll show you why she has all of this new growth here. So this one here, I don't know if it's called a jade. Oh, this is an example. Not only is this sunburned, see, I left her in the sun, I sat her outside. This is what happens when you sit your leaves out into the direct sun. And she was actually outside. And this can happen as well if you have them in the window and the sun is shining on them in the window as well. They can burn their leaves, so you have to be very careful about that. So anyways, they were watering this with coffee, and it was so strange, and I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. She was like, you want a clipping? You know, I said yes, of course. So I said yes, I got a clipping. I don't know, like I said, exactly what type of pothos this is. I don't know if it's a jade pothos or a green queen pothos, but this is what happens when you leave them outside. Their leaves get sunburned. So a majority of her, she got sunburned. See how pale that leaf is? The majority of her got sunburned. So I feel really bad. Oh, and right here. So this is the tip. I've been trying to keep this one alive for the longest, and it looks like it's just not gonna happen. So this tip actually broke off of her, and this is why she's getting the new growth. Because if you look right here, this is where the tip was. So from the tip, all of this sprouted out. All of this new growth right here, all of this sprouted out from the tip. So these plants find a way. They are very hardy. They do not play around. That's why I call them devil's ivy, because they vine, they grow, they are resilient. These plants are amazing. I love them. So yeah, I didn't know that you can water fertilizer. That's it. I didn't know you could water your plants with fertilizer. I didn't know you could water your plants and put coffee beans and coffee grounds and water with coffee. You just have to know what you're doing, because too much stuff in your plant can kill your plant, of course. But yeah, I did not know that. Like, I'm learning more things now about the pothos that I've been around all my life, which is so funny. So anyways, this one right here, I don't know what this one is called. I think this one is a regular golden pothos. And I'm looking at her vine. See, like her vine is a yellowish color compared to the dark green color of the other pothos vine here. So I think this one is called a golden pothos. She doesn't look like a marble queen. However, her coloring is like a marble queen, but I don't think she's a marble queen. I think she's just a regular pothos. But like I said, I could be wrong. I'm going to post a lot of pictures of what I've seen across the internet. And you guys let me know what you think. I got dirt under my nose. You guys let me know what you think, what type of pothos these are. So this is another clipping I actually got from one of my plants over here. I think it's the one over here that I got. So yeah, I'm super excited about this. This is really cool. So I'm going to show you another pothos that I have. Okay, guys, this is my Big Bertha. This is Big Bertha. I actually had one that was way bigger than her. I had one in the other state that I lived in. You see how she's vining? See how she's vining, how far? They can get longer than this. So this right here, to me, not saying that it's nothing, but I've grown bigger. The one I had in my other apartment when I was living in a different state, it stretched from one side of the apartment to all the way out to the door. That's how long, outside the door into the hallway. That's how long these plants can get. They can get even longer. The leaves can get even longer as well. So right here, she's beautiful. But I've had bigger. So to me, this is small to me. This is really small to me. I'm used to vining, I mean, all the way out, all the way out. But this is another golden pothos, and you see all this new growth because I clipped her. I clipped her somewhere. Where did I clip her at? I clipped her, yep, I clipped her there. And I clipped her somewhere else, oh, right here. I clipped her here, and I clipped her there. And where else? I think I clipped her one more place. I clipped her somewhere. Okay, I think that was all. So all of that, just those 3 clippings gave me all of this. All of this is new. All of this is new. And plus, I started misting. And the more I noticed that I started misting, the more growth I got in here. So that is awesome. Mist your plants. No matter what climate you live in, mist your plants. Just don't mist them to where they're soggy and soaking in water. So this is another golden pothos. This is Big Bertha right here. But her sister who died a few years ago, somebody killed my plant, but who died a couple years ago was way bigger than her. She was in a 20-gallon tote. Her sister was in a 20-gallon tote. So right here, this is cool, but I can get bigger. We've seen bigger. Okay, so here's another pothos I have sitting on my thing, and this is next to a south-facing window. So this pothos here, she's catching up with her sister. She's vining all the way down, all the way down. I had her sitting up, but I just recently rearranged my living room, and I just got this new thing that I set all my plants on. So now I am I'm trying to get her hung up, but see how these are her little strings that when she had on the wall. So she was over there with her other sister too. And this is another golden pothos. And this right here is not from sunburn. This came after I sprayed fertilizer on the plants. I thought it was okay to spray fertilizer, but it was not. I burned her leaves. So now I have to do more research and see how I can dilute my fertilizer and how much to use and when to use it, because this happens when you use fertilizer and spray it on your plants. I thought I diluted it enough, but I didn't. So I actually accidentally burnt my baby. So I feel bad about that. But yeah. So right here is another pothos. This is new to me. I just actually got this one this year. I never knew that there were different types of pothos, like I said earlier. This one, I believe, don't quote me, it's either called a pearls and jade pothos or an enjoy pothos or something like that. This is different. These are in the same family, but you see how the speckling on the leaves and stuff? This one is different from these pothos here, but they're pretty much the same, I guess. I just got this one, so I just repotted her too. I'm waiting to see if she vines like these pothos. If not, that's fine. It's a pothos. They're hardy plants. I'm used to these. So I cannot wait. I'm super excited. Like I said, this might be a pearls and jade or a enjoy pothos. Here's another pothos I have, propagating in water. So these are the nodes, and this is what I was telling you, what you can do when you stick the nodes in the water. They root. You see that? Look at these roots. And these are all out of the nose. And you can just take this once you're ready. You can take this, plop it in some dirt, and she'll grow a whole new plant. Look at these roots. Look at these roots on here. Take that, stick it in there. She'll grow a whole nother plant for you. And they still grow, so you can keep them in there as well. I have another pothos propagating in water. This is a clipping I got from my son's school. Look at these vines on her. Look at these vines. These vines, look at this. I'm sorry, these roots. These roots, they are vigorous and hardy plants. She's going to be ready to be potted pretty soon, maybe in another month or so. This is just almost December, so I'm not going to plant her, but she didn't have a tip right here. All of this is new growth. She did not have a tip. This was like it was when I cut it down there. I cut it down there, stuck it in water, brought it home, stuck it in water. Now, look at this. Look at all this new growth. They do not play. These plants are hardy. They are not joking with us. So another pothos I am super surprised and excited about is the silver pothos. I have a silver pothos. There's two different types of this too. I did not know that. I didn't even know these plants existed, okay? So now I'm learning how to grow and propagate the silver pothos, silver satin pothos. Google that if you don't know what that is. These plants are so amazing. So I just bought, this is a new one. I just got this one, but let me show you the one I just repotted. So I just repotted her into her bigger pot. I wait a couple of weeks before I repot them out of their nursery pots, and then I put them in their regular pots, and this is what I have. So I'm waiting for them to vine like their sisters or cousins or whatever they are, however they're related. They're in the same family. So I'm waiting for this one to vine. So hopefully I can get that to vine. I'm so excited, you guys. I cannot wait to see what happens when these things grow. I've seen pictures. Look at that new growth. I've seen pictures of people's pothos, their silver pothos, silver satin pothos, and they are just beautiful. So that's what I'm waiting on for them. So like I said, you guys, these are my pothos. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like it, just hit the like button, and you can subscribe if you like. You don't have to. Yeah, these are my pothos, and I'm going to get more. So I'll give you an updated video on my planted propagations that I did, and I'm going to give you an update. I'm going to give you a video of the cuttings that I'm going to do. I'm going to do some cuttings real soon, because right here, all of these empty vines, I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to propagate these plants, and that's what I propagate, is basically cutting it off and sticking it in water. That's what I just showed you, and starting a whole new plant. So she's going to get a haircut. She might not like it, but she's going to get a haircut, and so is her sister over there, because I don't like the long spacing in between the vines, and it's actually going to promote, once I cut it from here, it's going to promote new growth into the plant, get her thicker and bigger. So thank you for watching my video, and if you have any questions, just let me know. And this is an addition of my houseplants, my pothos. All right, you guys, be blessed.